Hello, Mountaineer Nation, on this bye week. A lot has transpired since West Virginia's victory over Arizona 31-26. WVU's D coordinator, Jordan Leslie, was fired this past Monday. Uh, I really don't know why he was fired, quite frankly. I just think it's more or less a quick fix. Jordan Leslie was an inside linebackers coach for West Virginia when he came here with Neil Brown. And he's been with the staff for the 7 years Neil Brown has been here. He was promoted to D coordinator. He was up for the Broyles Award for a defensive coach of the year. So he's been up and down as a coordinator. But one thing I don't believe in is a quick fix. And I certainly don't like scapegoating somebody. And I just think that Jordan Leslie should have been allowed to finish out the season with the Mountaineers. There's no question in my mind when you look at Jordan's overall record. And I just think that it's a very good sign that the Mountaineer management, Board of Governors, President, and AD are panicking over the West Virginia University football program and what they've known for years, that there's been a decline in WVU football. That's what it's all about. And you can't lay that on Jordan Leslie. You can't scapegoat him that way and also make it like it was his problem. And what do you do to fix the problem? You promote or you let an assistant take over for the job that he's been doing, which is a linebacker coach that's now going to run the defense. Well, yes, the defense might look somewhat better because the last 4 teams West Virginia is playing are winnable games and the competition is not as stiff. You evaluate coordinators really in the big games, and the big games for West Virginia University was Pitt, Penn State, Kansas State, and Iowa State, and Kansas. So that's when you evaluate coordinators. So I don't know whether they don't have the money to spend for a defensive coordinator, but the Jordan Leslie matter should have been solved before spring practice. He installed that defense this year. He depended upon the portal players that he brought in. They didn't work out so well in the West Virginia culture and on the West Virginia defense. So I'm not going to lay this one on Jordan Leslie. I believe you dance with the coaches that brought you here. He went through spring practices. He went through 8 games with the Mountaineers. So he's worthy of finishing out the season. And you grade the coaching staff in totality, not just one piece or the secondaries not performing. So I think that was a Bush League move by Coach Brown and the WVU administration. There's nothing pretty about it. They responded in panic to clicks and likes and the ESPN. The key is about winning, winning, winning. And right now, West Virginia is 4-4 and 3-2 in the Big 12 Conference. That's what the concentration should be on, and not responding here again to clicks and likes and what ESPN is talking about. So I'm not in favor of a quick fix in the form of firing Jordan Leslie. And moving on, ESPN also commented on Neil Brown's comment that West Virginia fans should be happy about the tailgate, the atmosphere around the program, and the weather. Well, they made a mockery of him because it's always been about winning, winning, winning. The West Virginia University football fans expected a Big 12 title or compete seriously for a Big 12 title. They didn't see 2 losses at home to Kansas State and Iowa State. That's what it's about, winning, winning, winning. So firing Jordan Leslie and all that stuff, as well as making comments about the fans should be happy with tailgating, that's not what the West Virginia University program is all about. It's about winning, winning, and more winning. And why do I say that? Well, the foundation was established a long time ago when Dick Martin hired Don Nehlen. Let's talk about the big continuous and the history real quickly here, because some people don't even know the history. So they're dealing with false information. Dick Martin hired Don Nehlen, and he went on a 20-year plus run to be a Hall of Fame coach and vied for national championships twice. That was his work. That's fact. After him, and after Dick Martin, you had Fred Schaus. He didn't have much to do because he already installed Don Nehlen as coach, and everything was set for the next 20 years. And Fred Schaus had his own legacy because he coached Jerry West, and of course he was associated with the Los Angeles Lakers. And he came back to be an AD at West Virginia University. So you see the big continuous here. After him, they hired Eddie Pastelon, who had been in the Mountaineer program for years as athletic director. What did he do? He hired John Beilein, Bob Huggins, Rich Rodriguez, and Bill Stewart. What more do you want as a foundation to be a perennial power in college football? That was the foundation of West Virginia University football right there. Stop it, freeze it right there at 2010 and 2011. He did it for years, Ed Pastelon did. And he set the program, and he had the athletic program, especially the football program, ready for even more success. Who couldn't win with that foundation laid? There's no question. That's when the foundation was laid. So I do get tired of West Virginia University, some fans and some pundits around is always talking about what West Virginia needs. Well, what West Virginia needs has already been built. They were poised to stay in the national limelight with what those guys built up. Martin, Nehlen, Pastelon, Rodriguez, Stewart, Schaus. They built the foundation. There's no question about that. And then what happened in 2010, 2011? Things started to move around. They started playing checkers. You had two athletic directors. Eddie Pastelon handed off to Oliver Luck. He didn't stay around long enough to even manage Dana Holgorsen. He left West Virginia University with Dana Holgorsen. And Dana Holgorsen was not a great coach. He did not coach three sides of the ball. There was always problems with quarterbacks and the defense. He never coached it. And it proved out when he went to Houston and got fired after 2 years. He's not head coach material. He never was. But that was Ollie's pick. And he left West Virginia University's program with him. After that, you have Shane Lyons and his hire, which is Coach Brown. And Coach Brown is trying to work it out now to probably save his own job. But the bottom line is West Virginia University's football program has been in a gradual decline since 2010 and 2011, after they beat Clemson 70-33. And by the way, Dana Holgorsen had Bill Stewart's players. So don't give Dana Holgorsen credit for the Orange Bowl victory. He had Geno Smith and Tavon Austin. Who couldn't win with those former NFL players? No one's playing. Geno's still playing, and Tavon just retired. So who couldn't win with that? And he had a veteran team. But after that, what did he do? There was no Big 12 titles. West Virginia never seriously never seriously competed for a Big 12 title. So that's the long and short of it. So don't tell me about Jordan Leslie this and that. Own up to what's going on in the West Virginia University program. It's always been about winning. It's always been about production, bringing the lunch pail mentality and bringing that culture. Substance over form. You can come out like you're a Mountaineer, but people are waiting to see what Mountaineer football is all about because it's dropped out of basically the national limelight. All the Pat McAfees and Saban, who coached really as a grad assistants under Frank Signetti when I was going to school. So I can take you back further than that, but I don't have to because I've ran it from the back all the way up to the front. Address the problems in the program in totality and don't give us a quick fix. Gordon Gee and all of them. There's no quick fixes. You saw this coming. You know what's been happening. West Virginia was the forerunner in the dual threat quarterback, and they abandoned it. We know the story. So when you look at Mountaineer football, yes, the foundation has already been built. There's no need for total teardowns. Those coaches put in and athletic directors before Oliver Luck and Shane Lyons, they put in the work to make the West Virginia University brand what it is today. When people talk about West Virginia, they talk about Major Harrison, Pat White, and Don Nealon and Rich Rodriguez. That's just the way it goes. What's so hard about that? That's what they do, and that's what they did. So that's where it lies with me with Jordan Leslie. And the only thing that's left right now is what quarterback is going to be playing the final 4 games. And what is Neil Brown going to do with respect to the quarterback position? That's business. That's production, and that's about winning the last 4 games, which are winnable. But they're less competitive. None of those teams are in the national limelight. So there you have it. Mountaineer strong, leave no doubt. See Ivan Franklin at Be Frank For Real on YouTube. One minority voice, one view. It's all about the West Virginia University brand. Protect the brand, but short-term fixes does not work for me. See ya!